I clicked live right before it said 3:01, so I'm 59 seconds late, which I still count as early on time because it said 3:00. But how's everyone doing today? Almost heard an echo. I almost didn't catch it. But yeah, plans for the day. You can see it's baseball season now. I wish it was still hockey season. But unfortunately, the NHL season officially ended the other night for anyone who missed that. Uh, so it's Mets season now, and then it'll be Jet season in September, whenever they start. But yeah, Collecticon. I'm leaving in just over a day. I was doing really well, and then you were 58 seconds late. It ruined my day. My Cardinals suck this year. How much cash we grabbing in Dallas? Over under. I went kind of crazy. No, hockey season's officially over. We don't need to talk about anything else. Appreciate you, Retro, as you join the chat. Please hit the subscribe and like button, please, and thank you. I'm scrambling. I'm absolutely scrambling these last hours before I go to Dallas. Getting eBay shipments out, making sure I hit my eBay listing goals. 10 listings a day, every day, all year. I have not yet missed a day. I just scheduled through next Tuesday. So I'm good to go. I'm good for the Collecticon hangover. Appropriate use of words there. But let me see what we got here. NP Pokemon Grand Party. How's it going? Doing well. Manga. Tennis Wolf. Mr. Walrus. Leaf Green Goblin. Beerski. DNA. Where's Dan? All I saw is an advocator for holding modern 10s. Yeah, it's somewhere here. However blasphemous it may be, I am pricing slabs. I did, if anyone who saw my Instagram story, I ran out of labels. I ran out of label for my my label maker. So I unfortunately can't be printing the actual labels today, but I probably will be going on eBay. I'll do my best to fit. I didn't get it set up yet, but I'll do my best to get either Pokedata or eBay shared so that you can see the cards as I'm pricing them. But I did put a price. There is a price on Moonbryon. And I know, and I don't care. I know and I don't care that there are probably 20 of them on eBay under $1,200. This is going to be the one slab in my entire display that says firm on it because I will not budge. I will not yield. No 70% buyout, no 80% buyout. This baby is 1,200 firm because other than that, I'm going to collector boy / invest on it. It's going to be in the case, and people are going to know that it is not leaving the case for less than $1,200. So we'll see if anyone opts to take it. I hope not. I don't think they will, and I hope they don't. But I've only done a handful of slabs so far. But I did empty out my PWCC vault, and that's all I've started with so far aside from the Moonbryon. Let me get this lifted up a little bit. I do have some nice stickers now. I have some nice stickers to hand out to people if they so desire to have Catch 'em All collectibles on something of theirs. But I've got a lot. I've got a lot of different diversity going on. This is what I settled for. I really like the boxed in look. Sorry, I've got a little blister on my knuckle there. I don't know what I did to it, but I heard it doing something. But yeah, these were all in my PWCC vault. I really like the bold numbers with the outline. That's what I opted for. You know the meme. You love the meme. We're going to quickly recap label printers. I forget where I last left off in the whole label printer saga. But I think I had said I liked this one better, but I changed my mind. I like the Brother better. The Brother's actually only $30. I ran out of labels, though. I'm completely out of labels. I got it nice and labeled in case anyone borrows it. But yeah, I'm out of labels, so I'm waiting on Walmart and Amazon. I have orders in with multiple places. Three orders placed, I believe. I think I did a Walmart delivery from store. I did a Walmart shipping and an Amazon shipping. Walmart and Amazon shipping should be here tomorrow, but there's a delivery from store that was supposed to be here today that isn't here yet. Anyways, let me do a quick recap of what I've priced so far so you guys can catch up with where I'm at. I am very far from where I need to be. I will say, pricing is always going to be semi-negotiable, except for on Moonbryon, because that one says firm rate on it. These are all not necessarily matching last sold, but they are definitely low list. In every case, these cards are low list. You will note that these are pretty, I'd call them mid-end to like lower high-end. I think Shining Charizard would surely fall on that. But these are my bangers from my PWCC vault that I absolutely should have auctioned back in 2020, but I wasn't ready. So yeah, the time has come now. There's our biggest banger of the little batch that I've got right here. But yeah, the time has come to get these all on the market. They will all be in the case. They will all be available. I am not crazy about selling them, but I also need to keep it pushing, as Mr. Retro Specifics in the chat would say. So I've largely waited too long on all that stuff. Let me get my Arnold Palmer, the beverage of choice today. Let me get this cracked. Let me make sure I stay hydrated. But it won't be only PSA 9 WotC first editions. It won't be only stuff from my PWCC vault. I do have some like solid Japanese promos. I'm going to bring some of my Black Label non-Pokemon stuff. I just need to get labels in, and I need to get printing labels like a fiend. Man, just add a smiley face to the prices already. So what I mean, it's called a border. It's called a border in the settings on the label printer. There's actually like an alligator. There's pretty flowers and rainbows. There's all kinds of nice borders, but I went with the boring rectangular with rounded edges is the border that I settled on. I'm kind of kicking myself. I feel like the crocodile might have been the play, but let's see. Let me see what I got going on in chat. Jets picked up Rogers. We'll see how that goes. Dan's changed into an Instagram flexer ever since he got Moonbryon. About to fill the draft bank when I get home. I got lazy and I ran out of my draft bank quite a while ago. So I've just been running 10 a day. Usually I'll schedule a few days out at a time. The plan for Friday night, I don't have any firm plans. I get in there pretty early Friday. I'm just going to see what everyone's doing. Make sure you're in the various Discords, and I'm sure people will be pinged, and I'm gonna just head down there and see what's up, and then see where the night takes me. We're absolutely talking label makers already. Dan not printing. Hell has frozen over. Bullish on Quaxley Shrine. Yeah, I need more Quaxleys back there, but it is getting better. Sitting Cutie. Offer 5. Someone's still gonna offer you 750. Yeah, Moonbryon is not going for sub 1200. Hopefully I do take one in trade or something. We'll see. I have a Quaxley gift for you when we meet up. Looking forward to that. I appreciate that. Them labels ugly. Come on, man. Come on. I spent like half an hour trying to figure out which label I liked best. I had both printers. I did all the settings. This, honestly, I think this wins out of all of them. And this is the one where I literally just I feed out some Dymo label printer. Or no, actually, I didn't write on this one, but yeah, this one is literally just printed out on the 4x6 Dymo and then cut it up by hand. I need to step up my game into this, so I do still overall prefer the Dymo. I don't. Let me see if I have one more on hand. Yeah, I do. So this is my Dymo label printer that I do like cut out by hand. This is the Dymo. This one. And then this is this one. And I think this one wins. I think that one wins by a lot. All things considered. Ease of use and all that. So can you not ditch the dollar and save on ink? I like the dollar sign. I don't know. I did think about ditching the dollar sign, but I do like the dollar sign on there. Look at those large print labels. Where's the Metazoo? I am bringing some Metazoo. I'm bringing binders for the first time ever. I don't have these fully done because I don't have label printer anymore. But these are the hits from Native. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to bring like any, I call them onesie twosies. I'm not going to bring like onesie twosie singles. Every single I bring, I'm going to have like quantity of. So if you flip through my binder and you see like, oh, well, I need a Piazza Bird for my deck, for Flame Tower. Oh, I need a, sorry, I need a playset of XYZ. I'll have quantity of all of these. And I will have a Pokemon binder as well. But these are well under what I'm selling them for on eBay. Pretty solid prices. Native singles are selling well. Kind of an interesting dynamic there. I have a lot more Pokemon singles I'll need to add in, but like I have quantity on all of these. And if anyone asks, these are not like PSA 10 worthy, the Pokemon especially. But I'll have a quick binder if people want to flip through. Oh yeah, I want one of these. Hey, I kind of want to. If they say like I want to look through all your Charizards, I will ask them, are you trying to get a PSA 10? And I will tell them, you will not get a PSA 10. I mean, maybe you'll get lucky, but if it's 10 worthy, I'm grading it. I have a stack of hopeful 10s. So yeah, if it's 10 worthy, I'm going to have graded it probably. If it's not 10 worthy, I'm gonna sell it for what I paid for it, basically. I mean, I would come down, especially if someone wanted more. But people do binder collect. People are fine with a white dot or two. So I'll be selling Charizards with a white dot or two. Any ones that are like really rough from TCG Player, because I did get some, I'm not gonna sell those as like near mint or anything. I'll have to figure out a path for those. But I will have a couple binders in between my two cases. Some Metazoo. I did ship down to Colt to peek at you. I shipped down a case of Native booster boxes. I'm selling these. I've sold a few dozen boxes between eBay and TCG Player for 140 a piece. So I will have Native booster boxes. On top of that, I will have heavy base unlimited. I guess I have those here. Let me get them pulled out. But yeah, I will have heavy base unlimited, heavy fossil unlimited, and I'll do the same thing. Like, same thing as the binders. I'll have one on display, I'll have one in the case, and then I'll have quantity behind. I'll have quantity behind. So if someone wants one, if someone wants to feel all the packs and kind of feel where they get the heat from for the Charizard, they can pick out the pack. If they want to fan through the singles, if they want to grade the Metazoo, I mean, I'll let them flip through every single I have and pick out the best one, because I'm not grading anything from Native this time around. But yeah, that's a little bit of what I'm bringing and my strategy, my conversation around what I'm doing and why. I didn't price it yet, but I believe that low list and last sold on eBay. I think low list is over 2K on this. I had a few people message me actually on this. And I think low list is 2K, and I think last sold is 1,500. So I'm probably going to go like 1,400-ish. And then, I mean, if someone wants to work in a trade, if someone wants to offer cash for a little bit less, we'll talk. We'll have a conversation. But I did have a few people hit me up on that. I did work out a trade. So there's a trade going down. There's a trade going down for anyone who doesn't know Metazoo well. That little K means Kickstarter. So on Friday, this box will be being traded to somebody. Who knows who it could be, but yeah, that is going down for trade. I do have Topps packs. I have more PWCC Vault coming in. I still have all these boxes behind me are PWCC Vault that just came back and need to be priced. I've got like a PSA 9 base first edition Charizard booster. I've got not all by any means. Not all of my PSA 9 base first set, because I did sell the Charizard, but I do have some base set first edition. And let me go turn the fan on, because I'm getting heated up with all this fire around me, all these crazy slabs around me. But let me show you. I mean, some of these are week 9s, absolutely. What you'll notice, I mean, look at the throwback on this slab. Look at the throwback. Talk about no lighthouse. Talk about like that one doesn't have the lighthouse. These ones have the original OG backs on them. And one thing a lot of people say, Oh, well, it's a 1 cert, it's a 0 cert, it's a 2 cert. I have a 0 cert somewhere. 0 cert Raichu. Oh, well, it's gonna be weak. The thing that blows my mind, it's like these people think that for the first 20 years of Pokemon or the first 15 years of Pokemon, that no mint copies of these cards existed. The longer ago that they were graded or pulled and graded, the more likely that there were mint examples out there, right? This set actually has some history. So I sold the Charizard out of it. I bought a complete PSA 9 base first edition set that Gary, King Pokemon, pack pulled all of them himself, as far as I understand. And these were all graded by him. I bought this for $8,300 with the Charizard, with the full set, 103 card set, all the non-holos, Red Cheeks Pikachu. Some of these cards are pretty clean. I need to look through before I bring them all. I need to look through and see if there's any like slab optimization possibilities. I'm not going to go as widespread as I did back in the summer, last summer with CGC slab cracking, but I pulled out 300 cards from my PWCC vault. I would expect that I'll be cracking like maybe 15 to 20 out of 300. Just doing a quick look and kind of having a feel. I'm only going to crack them if they are a very strong opportunity at getting a 10. So these are some of the cards that I'm going to be pricing while we're hanging out today. Hopefully tonight I'll have my label printer, my labels back, and I can actually like put labels on them. But yeah, let me go full screen. Let me catch up a little bit with chat. Bring some of those fake fusions, Dan. Fake fusions? What do you mean? Dan bringing them. I'm sure there's a lot of vintage slander going on, I think. Dan bringing them vintage bags. Don't you know it's modern only at Collecticon? I will have modern too, for sure. But I will have some pretty decent. Here we go. Here's like a modern waifu that will be in attendance. A nice Lilies Full of Force from Cosmic Eclipse. I will. Oh, fire fusions. Yeah, I will definitely have fusions. Basic, they've come down quite a bit. So I have mine listed on eBay now. I know last we talked, I was selling them at $250. I have them $175 cash here. I think I have them on my eBay at $190. We can work something out though. If you and Ivy need your playsets of Magma Fusions, I can definitely hook you guys up quite a bit lower. Is Dan a fraud? He doesn't have an Ethernet cord plugged into his label printer. I think they look nice, Dan. Is that my stickers? Maybe. Sorry, I'm already running 10 minutes behind, so I'm going to try to catch up in chat. But it's appreciated, Mason. Whatever you think looks nice. I'm assuming it's my stickers. Have you noticed any Lorcana talk at shows? Thinking of bringing my collector set to KC if hype is there so I can sell them for more Pokemon. I'm assuming people would have their eyes caught by Lorcana. I have not personally heard anyone talking about it, but I don't have any Disney type stuff in my case, so it wouldn't be surprising that no one asked me about it. Try some labels with flowers and some with alligators, then do a spreadsheet with the results. Comic Sans label printer. Yeah, bold is the way for sure. New labels are nicer. The firm is unnecessary though. People need to know. People need to know that this thing is not. I'm not giving it away. Firm is very necessary. That will be the only one that says firm. He's got 3 label printers. This is what financial freedom looks like. Let's meet in the back alley. Words never uttered at a Collecticon. I need a Piazza bird for my Metasuit deck. Thoughts on changing your eBay name so your friends can't see your plays? There's probably a validity to that. Have your eBay for show that you just put like the brain dead plays out there, the ones that everyone knows, the ones that can't be stolen, and then put the juice on a different one, on a covert eBay for sure. That's the play. Let's see. Please explain shipping and picking up items to the con location. So thankfully, I have a pretty good presence in the community, I guess, and thankfully a lot of people attend these events heavily. I've made so many great connections and so many great friendships and relationships over the years in Pokemon. So like I don't want to blow up people's individual names, but I know people in Florida that drove to the Orlando one. I know people in Dallas driving to the Dallas one that live locally. Charlotte, I know people that live in that vicinity. I don't want to just volunteer people who are receiving packages for me and then bringing it to the convention center. But yeah, like I have somebody that I ship some stuff down to. I know Ray shipped it down to them. Nick, Old Skool Pokemon, shipped down to them as well. And then they're just like delivering it basically to our hotel. I'll be compensating them for their time and effort with some adult beverages or maybe barbecue food of some kind on Friday. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, I definitely am thankful for my the friendships and stuff and the people just helping me out on convention weekends. If and when there's ever one in the vicinity of me to where I can drive, I don't know that there ever will be. But I mean, I can't just like wide open it up to anyone, everyone shipping to me. But definitely will return the favor to those who have received packages for me and done all that, and then as many people as I reasonably can. But I will probably be like, if there's one that I'm driving to, I'll probably be bringing like a few people with me from locally, and then I will have like a lot of my own inventory to bring. So maybe I'll have to borrow my dad's truck and rent one of those little U-Haul enclosed trailers or something. Professor Oak, still no Dan promo card, but it's coming though, and I will definitely. Oh yeah, let me show that. I forgot to show that last week on the live stream. Talking about all the great friendships, talking about all the great people I've met and stuff at the various conventions. Look what Professor Oak hooked me up with. I had that funny story where Cam's girlfriend Alexis went and found me. I had my IPAs in hand, and I didn't have a way to open them. So Professor Oak made sure that I will be hooked up moving ahead, and I will always have this on me at conventions. So I very much appreciate that, Professor Oak. I just ate a Girl Scout cookie. I ate a Samoa before I went live, and I just had like a piece of coconut dislodged from somewhere and make me choke. Vintage Nines, Dan trying to brick in Dallas, I guess. Fire Lizard generates heat for sure. I can't talk on Dan at Collecticons anymore. Guy sells tons. Net's like $8, but sells a lot. Yeah, you can do a lot of business selling $10 bills for $5 each. So I'm trying to get the corn planter put together, and I can't focus with you spamming all these first edition slabs. We've gone full circle. Dan slab optimizing again. I'll probably get wrecked again. It'll probably end the same way. But PSA grading standards increasing over time. Like, I understand it. I see it to an extent, but I also see I see 0 cert, 1 cert, 2 cert, 4 cert, 5 cert, 6 cert, 7 cert. Every cert, there will be good 10s and bad 10s and way too strong of 9s that should have been 10s. They've been consistently inconsistent over the years. And I'm telling you, like, Gary Pack pulled most of these cards in the set himself. They're all mostly 1 certs. You can actually see that some are from the same submission. Like the Hitmonchan and the Magneton are both 149, and then they end in 4-5 and 4-7. So, like, you could probably look up that whole submission. That's actually one cool thing you can do with, kind of cool thing, kind of a not a great thing for anonymity and privacy. But I'm assuming that Gary submitted these. You could look up 4-6, what was between it. You could look up 10-20 cards on each side. It was probably a lot of base set first edition that he opened himself pack fresh and graded. So I did. You'll note the Charizard is not present in this set. The Charizard I optimized 5 years ago. I believe back in 2018-ish. I cracked out. No, I didn't crack it out because I was scared. At the time, the Charizard was worth like $2 or $3 grand, and I was scared because I paid $8,300 for the whole set. I sent in case to Beckett the PSA 9 base versus Charizard. It graded a BGS 9.5. So I bought the set for $8,300. Mind you, the price of the set was increasing over time. It wasn't just because I optimized the grade, but I was able to sell the BGS 9.5 Charizard at that time for like $10K to pay for the whole set, one card. I tried the Blastoise too, and it didn't work. This is a different Blastoise though. This is a 4-cert Blastoise. I think the 2-cert Blastoise I sold at a different time, or I don't remember. I've definitely had a few sets over the years. But anyways, PSA is consistently inconsistent, and there are probably, I mean, I'll look them all over. If there's no opportunities for 10s, I might just sell all these as is. But I do know a lot of these are packed fresh. I pulled 2 base set first edition holos in my life. One was a Ninetales, and it graded a PSA 8, and one was a Magneton, and it graded, I think that one graded a 9. I still have that, but I believe that graded a 9. My Shadowless Charizard graded an 8. So I do appreciate the fact that PSA 8 can be like first pack fresh cards. So some of these might be week 9s that should have been 8s realistically, even being pack fresh, because that's just the way it goes. But do you know if anyone's vlogging the event? I know you said before you're not. I'm definitely not. I don't know anyone who is for sure, but I think the Green Shiz is planning on making some content around it. He's going. I don't think he has a table, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully someone does, but it's just not going to be me. I don't know how to edit. I'll start getting pallets ready to ship your way. If you are in here and still haven't hit the like button, a Team Rocket representative will be visiting you shortly. Appreciate you, Retro. Samoas are trash, Girl Scout cookies. Them peanut butter chocolate joints smack though. Those are tagalongs, right? I do like tagalongs, but Samoas are my favorite, to be honest. We always end up talking about food. How much cash do you plan on grabbing at Collecticon? I am concerned for my safety. I think Ray's trying to rob me. I'm going to have to talk to security when I get there. I think he's trying to figure out how much cash I'm going to have on hand so that he can rob me. So hopefully that's not the case. Samoas are a heavenly delight. It's so hard to get the coconut flavor. Brad sounds ungrateful for the work the Girl Scouts put in. Thoughts on CGC grading? Anything and everything. I want to grade my wisdom teeth. Yeah, put it in plastic. I mean, I love the thought of, hey, I've got sitting cuties. Matt Quinn, right? Matt Quinn was on the Slab podcast. Matt, hook me up. Somebody clip it. Send it to Matt. Send it to CGC. I want my Charmander sitting cutie graded. I'm all for grading everything. I mean, sorry Earth. Let's see the sorry Earth in the chat, but let's put it in plastic. Let's sell it for a premium. Brad G cards likening Samoa's coconut to pencil shavings. Retro's gonna make a blog. Good stuff. Love watching recap vlogs. I will make a recap video. So Monday, I'm recording a video tonight or tomorrow that will go live Monday on my binder collection purchase that had like the Naruto and the Dragon Ball Z and the Yu-Gi-Oh and all that stuff. I'm gonna make an update video on that for Monday, because I get back late Sunday night and I can't really turn around. My upload time for a post Collecticon video that'll probably be like 45 minutes would not upload in the time that I need to post it by 1 p.m. Monday. So that video is going to be locked and loaded. So this coming Monday is the 23K binder collection. The following Monday will be a Dallas Collecticon recap. It won't be a vlog style. It'll be like me sitting down with a spreadsheet with some slides on a slideshow, and that'll be it. What do you think about PSA opening office in Dave and Adams EU? Not heard about that, but opening something in the EU, that's cool. It's good to make it more accessible worldwide. Bearish on prep on this live, bullish on Q&A. Absolutely. I'm going to do my best to do a little preparation. We're 30 minutes in, and I prepared nothing. But I prepared nothing. But yeah, let me see if I can get to doing a little pricing. I might not be able to, which is fine. Let me get Pokedata pulled up just in case I can. Let me get logged in, get ready to share it. When's the Naruto return? I would like to lowball you on a few cards. I have Naruto out at BGS. Who knows? It could be tomorrow. It could be 6 months from now. Hopefully it couldn't be a year from now, but who knows? There is a new revamped look with Pokedata. I really enjoy Pokedata. I enjoy what they're doing over there. Let me see if I can share. Let me find a good... Let's see what this will look like. So here's Pokedata. Anyone who doesn't know what Pokedata is, it's a very good source for just looking at like prices of cards. This is not sponsored. I'm not sponsored in them in any way. I just use their site a lot. But you can't see it, but in the way top left, there's a sets button. And you can scroll down through any set, any English set. They've added Japanese recently. I'm going to go to base set first edition. I might have to crop this to make it work. But right here, you can see raw. You can see CGC, PSA. I'm interested in PSA 9 because that's what I have. And value high to low, you're out. Where's Charizard? There's some weird glitch. So yeah, you can see right here that it's not perfect. None of these sites are perfect. For some reason, Charizard is showing as $999. That must be grabbing base set unlimited for whatever reason. So if PokeDad is watching, your PSA 9 base unlimited Charizard and your PSA 9 base first Charizard are getting mixed up. But anyways, I don't have one. I'm after Venusaur, Blastoise. I don't have Venusaur, but I guess I have Blastoise. Let's start there. You can open up. This is how I price a card. So let me open up the Blastoise. Nice thing about PokeData, you can see what the 10 is worth. So if I look over, if I say the 9 is worth 3,200 and the 10 is worth 23K, if this thing has like a 10% shot at getting a 10, not that I'm going to grade it 10 times and try to get that 10, but it's a thought to have there. It's a thought to have there on like on an EV discussion. This one has some white corners. It's definitely not perfect by any means. The hollow feels really clean though. To be honest, now that I think about it, I said that this is a 4-cert, so it might not be the original one. Let me hide this really quickly. This probably is the original one I bought in Gary's set. It probably originally was a 1-cert. I tried it with BGS to get a 9.5 because it looked really clean, and I think I did crack this one. I would have to look back through my own submissions. This is probably a submission that I did. This is probably where I was trying to get a 10 on the Blastoise. I was trying to get like... I wouldn't say lucky. There's no way you'll be able to see. There's a little bit of white, that white dot there on the corner. There's a white dot over there. I mean, I've seen worse 10s for sure. But overall, this Blastoise is pretty clean. I mean, I know I'm not one to crack a card over and over and over. So I know personally, this failed to get a BGS 9.5, and it also failed to get a PSA 10. I've tried it twice. I'm moving on from it. I'm not going to price it like super low because I think it's probably cleaner than most examples of PSA 9s. But yeah, when you look at... Let me see if I can fit all this stuff. We're going to have so much stuff going on here. But we got the Blastoise there. We got Blastoise here. I guess we don't need to see the card itself because we see it right there. But yeah, you can look through... you can look through the all-time history and you can see... Had I sold this card back at the peak, I could have got 13K for it. Hindsight, I mean, yeah, hindsight. I wish I sold it, but I didn't. So we're down a lot from there. We're down a lot. It's crazy to me, honestly. I'm surprised the first edition didn't sell for more because I want to say I sold a Shadowless. I had a Shadowless set that I sold for $35,000 of Shadowless 9s, and I want to say the Blastoise alone was like $7,000 or $8,000. So. The fact that it peaked at 13,000 almost feels like a little low to me, but very few people overall would have caught that exact like very, very peak. Let me pull up eBay here. Let me go back to the card for a minute. Let me get eBay pulled up because I think the two most relevant data points. I always say that there's no set market price. There's just data points. I will get back to the Q&A at some point. I just want to like elaborate on how I price a card and all that. So the two most relevant data points I think are what are the low list on the market and how many of them are there, and then what are the recent sales. So PokeData will give us the recent sales, and then eBay will give us, I'm going to actually search high to low just because it'll be, I won't have to wade through all the garbage listings that aren't real and aren't Blastoises. But yeah, let me go back to PokeData. You can see there was a sell at 3,200. I don't know if I can filter here. Yeah, so I can filter here for just PSA 9. Get rid of all the noise that I don't care about. So just PSA 9, you can see that there was a sale for 3,200, a sale for 4,000, 3,300, 3,300, 3,600, 4,400, 4,700, 2,300, 3,600. If you're interested, you can go in and you can actually like vet each one of these to make sure they're real or not. There's actually a flag button. I'm assuming if you think the data points are wrong and weird, that will like tell someone on the back end at PokeData to look at them. You actually can't see, you can't see the flag where you guys are at, but there is a flag over on the far right side for flagging transactions. You can see 2021, late 2021, so well over a year ago, $7,500. This was rotting away in my PWCC vault while falling 70%. Not the best, but when you remember the context that I paid 8,300 for the whole lot and I sold my Charizard for 10,000, you don't feel bad for me. Don't ever feel bad for me, because I'm doing all right, but I could have been doing better if I sold somewhere up in here. Okay, here the peak is showing 19,500. That sounds more realistic, because I sold a Shadowless for somewhere around 7 to 8. So that feels more correct to me. But yeah, when I see what the Blastoise is listed at, let's look at low list. There's one for 5,500. Here's one for 4,900, 5,000, 5,000, 4,800, 45, 44, 42, 3,800, a new listed. There's a Korean. You need to watch out, because you'll get a lot of foreign language. So 35 is Korean. That one's French. I'm assuming all these below here are Chinese, German. But yeah, our lowest list is $3,800, and it's a new cert thick stamp. If you look at mine's a thin stamp. I'm not a big stamp variant guy at all. But for anyone who doesn't know what thick stamp, thin stamp means, the one is just thinner there. Let me see if I have a thick stamp base first card here. I think this is a whole thin stamp set, because Gary was really into that. These are all thin stamps. So Gary was really into the thick, thin variants on base set first edition. I never have been. But yeah, the one on the thin stamps is just a lot thinner. The actual one, the part without the black ink. So seeing everything I see here, I am not like needing to sell this card by any means. If and when Pokemon starts popping, I think this one, I think this one feels too low. Like relative to what this card is selling for, this Blastoise feels too low. And I'm not in the game of like investing. I'm not in the game of guessing where the market's going to go. But I do not feel a huge sense of urgency to sell this Blastoise. I'm not going to undercut low list. I just don't care to. Low list is 3,800. Next highest is 4,200. Then you're at 4,400. I'm going to go 4,500. You know what? I'm going to go 5K, I think. I'm going to go 5K. And if someone wants to make a serious offer, I might entertain it. But at the end of the day, like, this is a card that I am perfectly fine continuing to hold for a while. And I'm just writing 5K there because the label maker, once I get the new labels, will just cover that right up. But that's what it goes into. Usually it's way quicker. I priced like 20 cards last night on the clock, and I can price like a card a minute. If I'm listing them on eBay, it's just boom, 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 and I'm going with the listings. With this, I've got to print out the label and all that. It's a little more tedious. Plus, with the higher end cards, I will take more care and more time to price a $5,000 card than I will $4,000 card, $3,800 card. Than I will to price like a $50 card, a $100 card. Most cards, I just look at low list and I just beat it, or I just look at last sold and I match it. Retro says Dustino. That's I need to catch up on chat, but let me price a card that I just don't care as much about. Let me show you what goes into pricing a card that the pop is $1 million on, and it's not historic, and it's blah, blah, blah. Weak card, weak stamp, market 3,500. I'll do 5K. Let me show you how I price a card that I actually want to sell. That card was not a great first example of like not a good representative sample. Let me look up this Lily's Full Force. Don't forget that I outsold the entire Nick section myself. Don't pretend like I don't sell product at these conventions, because I do move a lot of product. But that one, I'm perfectly fine not moving. So we're going to look up Lily's Full Force now. Low list is 367. No, sorry. I'm on high list right now. I think I have this card on eBay, actually. So I have it listed. That's me right there. This looks like me, I'm pretty sure. I can usually tell my listings. So this is indeed me at 260. This one's at 245. Let's see what last sold are. If I'm at 260 on eBay, let's not do lowest sold, but last sold. Last sold is 190, 201, 175. I mean, this one actually sold, and then it ended up coming back to me because I shipped the wrong card out, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm going to go 200 on this. And honestly, if someone wants it, If someone wants this Lily School Force, this is one of those cards that I'm priced under low list. I'm priced under last sold, and I would come down. I would move on this card. Like I don't really care about that card. I don't think the long-term prospects for that card relative to the Blastoise are very good. Let me get a couple more cards to look at quick, and then we can continue on. Let me look up like this Mew. Let me look up. It'll be interesting to see. Here's a good set of cards. So here's a set of cards that I had forgot I had that were in my PWCC vault. Let me look at some that were priced for some of these ones that I had priced for Orlando, and see how much I move on the prices. But yeah, let me look up the 2009 victory medals. PSA 10 2009 victory medal. Nick says, come all the way down to $199.99. If someone offered me $180, if someone offered 10% off, I'm not going to go crazy because, like, I know that card will sell on eBay eventually. Like, not even eventually. That card will sell on eBay in the next few weeks. But if someone wants to do 180 cash, I definitely would. So here's a set. Here's a set on April 30th for $1,000. I don't like selling things as sets, but I think that, oh, sorry, I don't have it shared. I think that this is one of the very rare examples where selling as a set is probably reasonable. If someone wanted to break them up, I absolutely would. I know you can't. I know you can't see the whole thing. Sorry for that. But yeah, this whole set sold for $1,000. I'll probably put. I mean, let's see what low list is. That's last sold. Let's see what low list is. Third place is 366. This one has a 9 in there. So this one's not all 10s. This one has a 10, a 9, and an 8. So this one is not all 10s like mine. Here's, if I had to guess, that's probably low list at 2K. I mean, the last sold is gone. There's 1950, there's 1830. There's quite a few sets listed. Some of these are mixed 10-9 sets. There we go. There's $1,220 for a 10 sequential cert. I would go 900 on this. Last sold is 1,000. I think this set at 900 would sell. There's the issue of pricing, though. There's the issue of pricing at what you would actually sell it for. And then some people come in, oh, well, you got it for 900, so I want to pay 80% of that. Certain cards I will go 80% on, but when I've undercut last sold by 10% already, and when I've undercut low list by 30%, I'm not going to come down to 80%. So yeah, like these cards, I'll list the set for 900. If someone wants to break it up, I would probably do like 500 on the. Let's see what the PSA 10 first place goes for. I would assume that the PSA 10 first place would be like half that at least, but maybe not. I guess I would do 450 on the 10. Like I would almost rather sell these as a set. So this is going to be 900 for the set. Or it'll be 450 for this. And then 250 or something. So knocking $50 off if they take the set. So there's an example where I'm well under low list. I'm decently under last sold. And I would have a little bit of wiggle room, but not a ton. Let me see. Yeah, let's look up this Mew now. Let's look up this Dragon's Exalted Mew. I had it for you can see what I had it for there. I had it for $250 in Orlando and it didn't move. Looks like I've been undercut. So prices are coming down. I should have gone lower in hindsight. Low list is $225. $230 with shipping. That's mine right there. Mine right there at $270. Let's see what this goes down to. Let's look at I always look at low list and then I look at recent sold, not lowest sold. Because if a card is moving significantly quickly, especially some of these like Japanese cards, if a card is moving like crazy, I would absolutely sell it for I wouldn't want to match low list in the past 90 days. Low last sold, which might have doubled in the past 90 days. So yeah, you got to watch out for that. Last sold auction is 175. There's a best offer accepted. I don't know what that went for. I honestly, I would go like, I guess I'll just put 180 on it. I'll kind of match low list or last sold, I guess. And then I'll be significantly under low list. And again, this kind of card, I think, like, I really do like this card. I think it's a cool card, but from time to time, I get too hung up on, like, this is a cool card. I should price it a little higher. I want to sell this. Like, this is a card I want to sell. What did I just say? I'd do 180. I'm just going to write 180 now. I'll put a new label on that. I'm not going to put it in the case like that, I swear. But yeah, 180, and there'd be wiggle room on that. There'd absolutely be wiggle room. Let's look up this card, and then let's catch up with chat. PSA 9, SL9, Raikou. Dan, best offer, paper hands, man. Paper hands. There is no one with hands more fragile. I mean, talk about toilet paper hands. Talk about tissue paper hands. James, ZNG Emporium, auctioning 1,000 cards himself. I consistently and continually find myself comping ZNG Emporiums as last sold, and I sell buy it nows well in excess of what he sells auctions for in many instances. Let me look up ended recently. Who's this right here? Hold on, who's this right here? This is TCA Gaming's. Oh, sorry, I don't have it pulled up. I thought we were gonna have James right there. And you always see the James has a very similar subtitle. To sell your cards on my eBay, message me. But this is Rusty. Rusty sold for $242. It looks like. That's a PSA 8. A lot of PSA 8s end up coming up, which is annoying. But like, there are many instances. Like this was quite a ways apart from Rusty's auction, but this one sold for $295. If I 130 pointed it, I'm assuming this one went for somewhere around $300. This one went for $280 or best offer. A lot of these cards, I mean, this one says authenticity guarantee. I'm assuming it went over $250 then. Very frequently, though, auctions underperform buy it nows. Not always. There are definitely exceptions, but one thing people do, one auction will go for higher than a buy it now. People will talk about it. People will. 99% don't. It's like you're looking at the exception and then you're trying to extrapolate from there. Anyways, I guess I'll match Rusty's auction of $250. But let me go high to low and then scroll down until we lose all till we get into the 8s. Look at some of these PSA 8s listed for $350. Crazy. Low list is $280, I believe. $275. So I'd go $250 on this. $250 with some wiggle room. I mean, if someone's taking the one card, I'd probably stick with let's go $240. Let's go $240 so we're under last sold. We're well under low list. And then if people are taking a bunch of cards, there'd be wiggle room. Let me go full screen for a minute and try to catch up on chat, because I think it's been pretty lively. Let's see. I feel like I missed something. Tennis Wolf says, Raikou, I already tried asking. He conveniently sidestepped it. What question did I miss? I don't think I sidestepped anything, did I? Oh, how much cash do I plan on grabbing? A lot of it. No firm numbers. Do you think we're in the phase of Pokemon where the hype has died down like when it first came out, and Scarlet and Violet will be like the new EX era? No. Nowhere near. They're printing much more. We are nowhere near like the lows of the EX era. If and when we get there, you will know, because if and when we get to the EX era equivalent, boxes from 5 years prior, Sword and Shield era boxes, will be selling for like $60. So you'll know if and when we get there, because it will be ugly. It will be really ugly. Will you be doing business card 1-on-1 sketches at Collecticon? Potentially. Can I have people look at my binders on your cases so I can keep my cases open? No, I hate that. Better than price charting. There are a few other websites out there. I need to look at some other ones more in depth. I know Classics recently made a video on TCG Fish, was it? Hey Dan, you live by Turning Stone, correct? Have you ever thought about having an event there? It would be great to have more events in the area. I have thought about it. There's so much that would go into it. It would be years away if I ever were to get something together along that scale. But I live very close. Connor, Rock Pokemon, was recently in town for an event at a convention center at the Turning Stone. So we grabbed lunch last week, which was cool. But yeah, I would love to. It would be a great setup too. Like, it would be dangerous with the gambling and all that right there. But it'd be great. Dan takes 20 minutes to price one slab. Daily refinement would not approve. That man spends more time on YouTube lives. I don't know how he sells anything. He doesn't sell on eBay because he's banned, but I don't know how he sells anything on Whatnot because he's always live on YouTube. Thin Stamp, Old Sir. He likes them thick. Dan's starting to value cards more than the market. This man ain't trying to sell a damn thing. Let's see. Oh damn, called out Nick. I don't remember calling out Nick. Yeah, I mean, a PSA 9 base versus Blastoise, that's one of these, especially it's a forcer, right? Like, forcers are so great. I know it failed. We're going back to the Blastoise, but this card is clean. I have seen hundreds of 10s, if not thousands of 10s from WotC, from any era, mid-era, that are weaker than that. So there are, like, if you talk a modern card, if you talk super high pop cards, no one gives a shit like a strong 9. It actually can and will be a thing someday. Like, in coins, it's a thing. If you have a 9 that's 3K and a 10 that's 20K, to say that, like, I mean, the amount of absurdity and insanity that goes on out there in Pokemon, and I'm kind of like, I'm not trying to pick on anyone in particular, and I know people are just busting my balls, but it's mind-blowing how some people get so firm on, like, 10s are worth 20 and 9s are worth 3,500, and there's no in between. There can't be. It's absolutely a thing. It's a thing with CAC stickers in coins. It's a thing with, they're doing it with sports. They're doing the whatever that diamond, Mike Baker Diamond, NBA Diamond. Not that that Blastoise, if it's a PSA 9 first edition with a CAC sticker with an NBA Diamond, whatever, it's a thing. If I own that Blastoise in 10 years, I'm more confident owning that Blastoise in 10 years that the price will be higher than owning this Lily, than owning that Moonbreon, than owning most other things. So that might just be Collector Boy Dan breaking through, but yeah, we'll see. Waifu's printing. No one cares about base set, but Dan decides to dump Lily and overpriced Blastoise. Don't meet your heroes, folks. Oh, man. Let's see. Nick says, yes, price those so I can undercut you. Dan's a hero, though. Guy gets roasted pricing cards 2 months ago and is back doing it again for our enjoyment. Goto Giraffe says, that's my listing. Oh, is that must have been your Blastoise listing? Let me try to catch up. CD promo sets have a premium to individuals as well. Does anyone care about vintage? No one in this chat, apparently. No one in this chat at all. But there's a lot of those cards out there that do take 80%. 900 sold together, 600 sold each. I'll be sure to price mine for $8.99. Oh, does Nick have a set? I'll go $8.50 then. I paid very, very little for those a long time ago. Dan, best offer paper hands. I already hit that one. Dan, can't wait to see that in your case with the Sharpie prices. Hopefully not. Hopefully my label paper comes in. My label roll, whatever it is. Toilet paper hands. ZNG is Dan's kryptonite. Oh, man. It doesn't matter what he sells them for, retro. They aren't his anyways. Yeah, imagine when people, I mean, I'm not trying to, like, cripple James' whole business, but people pay him $5 a pop. Like, I can list 30 cards in an hour. Do you really value your time more than $150 an hour? Especially 99-cent auctions? Like, all these people out here valuing their time more than $150 an hour. Some of them almost surely make that or more at their place of business. And I understand, like, a lot of people don't like selling cards, blah, blah, blah. $150 an hour, though. Someone's going to yeah, chat's gonna like this one, but I would do things that I don't like to do to avoid paying someone else $150 an hour to do it. Like I mean, I've gotten quotes on having my lawn mowed and that, and I can do it in 45 minutes, and it would probably cost me $100 a time to have my lawn mowed, and it costs me more because of the gas, and I'm always talking about my lawnmower, but it costs me wear and tear on my mower and buying a mower and all that. But yeah, for people who are sending to auction to pay a $5 surcharge when they could just auction it themselves and get the same price largely, kind of crazy to me. I don't know. It's always going to be a thing, and I understand it. Probstein doing $100+ million every year, but auctions always go for more if you pick the right ones. Absolutely. Mason uses TCG Fish a lot right now. PokeFlips convention in Vegas coming, hopefully. Price charting. Can you make a lit mystery box for a Collecticon? I don't like mystery boxes. I don't ever intend to sell. I don't ever intend to sell mystery boxes at a convention like that. How's your wife? She's a week 9. Oh man, buy the label, not the card. Dan Lawnmower Collectibles, 150 an hour. There goes ENG's business model. I mean, time yourself. How long does it take you to list a listing, especially when you're doing 99 cent? How long does it take you? I can list 30 an hour. So if I'm paying someone $5 a pop to sell my cards, that means I'm valuing my time. I don't want to make $150 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's functionally what you're doing. If you have a super small account, I do consignments too, and the same thing can be made. I mean, there are times where, depending on the price point, I'm making more than $150 an hour selling other people's cards. But I mean, again, some people are retired and they hate selling Pokemon cards, and there are people out there that make $300 an hour. There are people out there that make $500,000 a year. But then there are people out there that are just paying someone else $150 an hour to sell their cards, and they're screwing around in YouTube live chats, and they're screwing around at work watching YouTube lives, and they have a lot of free time, and they're just not selling their own cards. Like, that's where it gets a little bit weird. But anyways, can we get red lights, Dan? I think that was just a red light Dan rant without the red lights. But anyways, let me get back to pricing some cards before I feel free to send to James, the NG Emporium, with all your auction consignments. And then he's teased it, but he hasn't done it yet. One thing, I can't get too into it. I can't get too into it. But if and when some of these don't sell, I have an alternative plan for them that will get them moved. And it'll be apparent in the next few weeks what that is. But yeah, I am partially not looking to like fire sale a lot of my $1,000 plus cards, because I have alternate means to move them in a very attractive manner, I guess is what I'll say. Cards like this that are sub 250 especially, I am definitely willing and able to move those pretty cheap. But especially my base first. If any of my base first doesn't sell, let's I forgot, I actually already showed it. But yeah, if any of my WotC first edition that doesn't sell over like $500 list price especially, that stuff is headed somewhere where it will be an attractive selling opportunity. I should show this. This is an auction. So this is actually an auction consignment that I was just talking about. I generally don't do auctions, but if someone leaves a buy it now and they just want to move it, I'll do an auction. This is ending this Sunday, so I need to make an Instagram story about this. Super low pop, PSA 10 unlimited. It's a 6 cert. I think 6 certs are better than 5 certs, which are better than 4 certs, better than 210 certs. But yeah, the card is there. The high-res photos are on eBay. Can't wait to see those first editions on the next Rare Candy auction. I don't auction. They're not going to be auctioned. They're definitely not going to be auctioned. They will be for sale via buy it now through an attractive means. Let me continue on though. Here's a card. I have a bunch of Champions Festivals I'm bringing that here's a good card. I don't know if he's still in here. Here's a good card though for Old Card Shop. Let me know, Josh, if you're still in here, Old Card Shop. What is a PSA 1 Lugia from Aquapolis? What should I list that for? Let me use chat to do some pricing for me. There's also, I need to find it. But I have a solid card that was rejected from PSA that was supposed to be a 1. I don't know where it went. I don't know that I'll find it, but yeah, let me just continue on. 500. Let me jot down 500. I'll have to verify that I'm happy with that number. Ray says too much is the answer. I have something into it. I don't know what I have exactly. It came in a big collection, but I'll look into that price and I'll see if it makes sense. Well, I guess let's pull it up on Pokédata. Why don't we pull it up on Pokédata? Let's go to sets. Let's go to Aquapolis. So raw, it's a $453 card, and theoretically, that's probably like TCG player near mint. Let's look up what the PSA graded examples go for. So this says that 1 last sold for a 1. You guys actually can't see it, but last sold for a 1 is $405. A 2 is $325. A 4 is $510, and a 5 is $850. So yeah, probably $500 is reasonable. Let's see what the last time 1 sold relatively reasonably. But a 9 goes for $2,300. So if I could get 25% of that, that feels pretty crazy. James and Nick are texting me. We sold a PSA 4 at auction for like $420. So James paper handing the market down. I could probably get like $750 for it if he didn't give me that bad data point. I'll leave $500 on that for now. But let me try to find some stuff that's not WotC so I don't get completely roasted. I'll price all the WotC in my own privacy. Here's a nice. I should just bend this more. It's a victory ring trophy card, 100 and something in the world, and it's a PSA 4. Oh, I do have a staff. Here we go. Here's a good couple cards. Here's a couple good stack of cards to do. Let's I'm gonna put these two in the case right next to each other. So who wins? Let me know in chat who wins. Who would you pick? This is actually, it's a sneak peek at my short for Friday. Who would you pick? PSA 9 first edition Moonbryon or a PSA 10 original Moonbryon? Let me pull up the Neo Discovery Moonbryon. Let me see if this Moonbryon is tenable. It's not a 10. A 9. It's got some white dots on the back. It definitely wouldn't get it. I mean, it definitely shouldn't get a 10. I can't say it wouldn't get a 10 because PSA is very inconsistent oftentimes. But so here's the Moonbryon. Let's look at this. PSA 9, it says $1,325. Let's shift a little bit. So $1,325. Let's look at 9s only, where it's been headed. One thing you'll note, like holding on to these obviously was bad. I should have sold more during the boom. But in 2020, this card didn't peak as high. This card didn't go as nuts. You can see the peak was right around... The peak was later, and it was right around $1,500. So this card is like right there. This card is right where it was at. but last few sales are 1120, 1500, 1100, 1250. I think low list for this card is like pretty high. Maybe there's even none listed. First Discovery Umbreon. There are none of these cards listed. So the OG Moonbreon PSA 9 first edition, there are none listed. All this chat, that's the most boof side by side I've ever seen. All this chat, how would you guys price this card when the last two sold are 1120 and 1500 and there are none on the market right now? This card I have listed as a joke for 1200 and there's 10 on the market sub 1200 and there's probably 100 on the market total. This card is 22 years old and there are none listed. None listed. I feel like I'm probably going to go 1500 and be fairly firm at that. There's one at auction that'll be interesting. I don't know why it's not coming up for me. Oh wait, yeah, it was right there. 152.50. So there is one for auction. I guess we'll see where that goes. It's a 6.9 cert too, so that's got to be big premium, right? eBay authenticity guarantee. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Must be somebody who recently bought it. 1K if you actually want to sell it. Yeah, I do not want to sell that card. I'm not going to sell that card. Auction it to get the true value. Yeah. I've never been in the position where I need money so bad that I say I will literally take any amount of money for this card, because that's what you're saying when you send a card to auction. I guess, to be fair, you could be saying I trust in the Pokemon card market so much that I think that this card will achieve close to its true market value. But for the most part, like you're saying, I will literally take any amount of money for this card. And thankfully, I've not been in that spot for a long time, and I don't need to run auctions anymore. So, gotta throw shade at the auctions. Let's pull up. Let's look up CGC and PSA 9 Grand Party. This is a card that I've done very well with historically. I've sold a lot of them. The price is down a lot from where it peaked, as it should be. It got crazy. I sold multiple PSA 10s for over $4,000, which to me was just insane. Looks like low list is 1100. Let's see what the last sold is. And that's a PSA 9. This is a CGC 9 with 4 9 subgrades and 1 9.5. It would not upgrade to a PSA 10. I'm quite confident. So looking at these, last sold is 925, 700. See, look at this. 650, 670. They're buy it nowing for 925. Like you don't auction this card. You don't, or is that the same? Let's see if this is the same listing. I don't think it is, because one has a fire emoji and one doesn't. And they're different sellers too. So this card, buy it now, is at $925. This is indicative of what auctions do. This card, buy it now, is at $925. And it auctions for like, what did I say it auctioned for? $650 to $700. That's why we don't auction, folks. I'm gonna go $925 minus 12% fees, because people are going to want to save that. I'm going to go $850. And if someone wanted to pay like $750, honestly, I would take it. So there's going to be wiggle room. If someone, oop, wrong one. I'm going to go $850 and I'd come down on that. Now I've got a Staff Charizard, PSA 10. Ultra Modern Zard, PSA 10. How can you go wrong there? Walmart trophy card. So we're gonna need to pull up 130 point for this, just for. I'm gonna need to make a video now on buy it now versus auction, because auctions, I think I've done it a couple times. Auctions are really bad for a real lot of cards. If you've got a PSA 10 Moonbreon, if you've got a PSA 10 Celebrations Charizard, if you've got cards like that, they're probably going to do the same price in auction versus buy it now, or like really close. But if you've got anything that is older than a year old and doesn't have the eyes on it, you're gonna just get destroyed with auctions. And there are so many cards that I see all the time. For some reason, 130 point isn't working on this card. There are cards I see all the time, though, that I list at 50% above last auction, and they sell. Like, you wait for the buyer to come to you. You don't say, I'm going to paper hand this. I'm willing to take literally anything. Give me any amount of money, and I'll sell this card to you. Look at this one. Look at this one right here. Here's a PSA 10 Staff Vivid Voltage Charizard. Last auction went for $12.25. And a buy it now accepted a week and a half prior for $17.50. That happens all the time. Here's an auction for $14.84. Here's a buy it now for $1,800. This happens like all the time, and that is why I do not auction. You can find one-offs where an auction goes for $50 more than a buy it now, but that is by far the exception. Going back here, here's the actual eBay side: $1,800 buy it now, $14.80 auction, $17.50 buy it now, $12.25 auction. So let's see what low list is. I bought these sealed packs a long time ago for $1,000 a piece. So whatever I get for this, I'm doing pretty well. Low list is $16.99. I'll probably go $1,500, and if it doesn't sell, I'll throw it up on eBay buy it now for like $1,600. It'll move. Like, I'm confident this card would move within a few weeks at $1,600. Especially if I sent some offers out. I'm gonna price that for $1,500 and see what happens. I've got these CGC Masakis, which honestly I probably should crack them out and grade with PSA. I looked them over and I didn't see any Masaki marks. They probably would get 8s or 9s at PSA. They're definitely not 10s. I just don't feel like cracking them right now. I guess if they don't sell at Collecticon, I probably will crack them and throw them in a submission. Val CAC Prep Live plus Q&A plus auction roasting. Absolutely. Let's look up PSA CGC. Let's look up 8s and 9s, Masaki, and then let's look up Golems and Omastars. I think I have more of these I have to grab out. These are just specifically the ones that came from PWCC. The low list for a PSA 8 Omastar is $260. Low list for a 8 Golem is $250. Let's look up. We need an 8.5 I have. So I'll probably just go like, I'll probably go $250 on my 8.5, CGC 8.5. And then the Golems, I'll probably go let's look up sold. Again, auction, that's a green label auction, so that's a real rough one. So here's a PSA 8 that sold for $210. Here's a PSA 8 that sold for $210. I guess I'll go $200 on the 8. Not that anyone cares. Not that anyone cares whatsoever. But this is a strong 8. Very, very thick sarcasm on this being a strong 8. But it has two 8.5 subgrades and two 8s. I know nobody cares about it, but I'm going to price it at $200. Last sold is $215 for a PSA 8. So that feels reasonable. Oh, it's a Machamp. I was talking like I had 3 Golems. Let me add Machamp in here. We're going to get like 3 more cards priced and then we're going to be done. So we have a Machamp here that sold for $240. Let's, here's a Machamp that sold for $150 auction, PSA 8. I'll go $250 on the 8.5. And let's see the 9 Golem. The PSA 9s really do quite a bit better than the 8s, just because they are quite a bit harder to get. These cards are fairly lower pop, like relatively speaking, at the higher grades. Let's remove Machamp and Omastar because we just want the Golem now. Let's look up just the Golem. So here's a 9 that sold for $460, your best offer. Here's a 9 that auctioned for $400. Mine's a CGC 9. It's a straight 9. Straight 9. I'll probably go 350 to 400 for auctions. What's the low list buy it now again? We might as well go with the meme, right? I was gonna say let's go 420 for the meme, but there's 415 our best offer. Let's go 380. Let's go 380 to move it. I don't want to crack it and regrade it because then I'll probably get a PSA 8. So I just want to move it. Now let's look at the Omastar. Omastar. We got an 8 that sold for 210. I'll probably go 200 on it because it's an 8.5 and nobody collects 8.5. So I'll go 200 on that. So there's some Masakis that are a bit more interesting to see. Let's see if I can catch up with chat. Let's see if there's time to catch up with chat and price one more card maybe. Time to start my business, creasing cards down to a 1. That deserves to go to auction. That victory ring, Dan. Not even that. I think if anything, that'll sell as a buy it now. I'll figure out a price and it'll go as a buy it now. Neo art is so mids. Neo Umbreon, PSA 10 Moonbreon, that baby's historic. Neo for PC, Neo, that's the most boost side by side I've seen. I sold my 10 unlimited Neo Moon for 2,200 about 4 weeks ago. 1K if you actually want to sell it. Auction it, get the true value. Paper hands James. I will be seeing James this weekend in Dallas. I'm looking forward to seeing James. Hopefully he'll hang out some. He didn't hang out much in Vegas back at Pokemon Saves the World, but we'll see. Grand Party sucks. I said it. I enjoy the card, but it's at 1186 on TCG Fish. I'm assuming you're talking about the Moonbreon 9. Dan trying to show us PC off and not actually sell stuff this weekend. Let's see. I want to see a sales recap from Brad G Cards with the full spreadsheet. Man's talking like he sells a lot of product. I'm assuming he must have 100K in sales with all this chatter. Feels like a MetaZoo card. Oh man, hating on the Grand Party. Dan wanting to walk around the con knowing no one was buying. Moonbreon really changed this man. Really taking down Z if he makes the video. What is this website? Pokedata.io or 130 point. Oh, 130 point, yeah, for eBay last sold. Dan after a few drinks, F auctions. Hope you go to Denver. I will not be going to Denver this year. I believe Denver is very, very close to Charlotte or one of the other ones I'm going to. I can't, I'm too old. Charlotte is in September 16th to 17th, which I'm definitely going to. Denver's October 7th to 8th, like 3 weeks later. I can't do two in 3 weeks. I'm doing Dallas this weekend, and then I'm doing Charlotte in September, and then maybe Houston in November. Dan just wants us to start to do buy it now so we can outsource his employees. Don't listen to his auction slander. Oh, man. This is a strong 8. What? Dan, what has happened to you? Z doesn't even put the Pokemon name in his titles. Don't let him bully you into sending. Who's all making Dallas Collecticon in the chat? Kai says me. I think he's lying. I don't think he's leaving the Down Under to go to Dallas. My first interaction with Dan was buying a PSA 9 Masaki off of him. Good stuff. I'm sending all my trade-up challenges to Dan. Ask that guy he's rich, me at Collecticon. Can't go, but looking forward to all the content. Pumped to see you in a couple days. Very much pumped to see you too. I'm bringing a playmat for everyone to sign. I might bring this playmat. If I do bring it to sign, oh, you can see that I pulled up Collecticon. If I do bring this one to sign, someone needs to strategically cover up the Sharpie mark that I accidentally put on it. Because yeah, I accidentally hit that. So hopefully someone can cover that for me. I don't know though. I might go with something else other than a playmat. I don't know. We'll have to see. Get a fabric pen so the ink doesn't rub. Dallas is gonna be a blast. Absolutely. Well, we're at 420. Let's see if I can do What's a card that I won't get blown up for? I probably will get blown up for this, but I genuinely I don't know what these are going for, so I want to see what the base first boosters are doing. I will do a CGC9 special delivery Charizard as well. I was selling base first boosters left and right for a little while there. Late 2020 / early 2021, kind of peak boom. They were, I mean, I was able to source them raw, cheap, like reasonably cheap, 10K for an art set of 3, and I was selling PSA 10s for like several thousand. I was selling PSA 9s for like 5,000. It was pretty crazy. I don't know. Let's see what they're doing now. So let's look up low list. Looks like 5K is low list, which feels really high, especially for relative for today. Last sold auction. We don't do auctions. It's $3,200. And then here is best offer accepted on March. I don't know what that went for, but I don't know if I'll bring the pack. Maybe I will, but if I did, I'd probably go like 4K or best offer. We'll have to see though. Maybe I won't bring those. But let's look up special delivery Charizard. Let's look up CGC PSA 9 special delivery. Sorry, Pikachu. I was saying special delivery Charizard. What do you ship the graded booster packs in when you sell them? If they're expensive enough, a small flat rate box. Other than that, just a box with padding. Here's DC Sports. Here's James' biggest paper hands competition. Probstein and DC Sports. Here's a PSA 9 for $125. Let's see what sold is. 80. Let's do ended recently, not low list. So they're selling for 100 in PSA 9. I'll go 90. I'll go 90 because it's a CGC. So as you can see, certain things I do price more to sell. I'm probably going to call it there. It's 4:23. I work for 7 more minutes. There's no more questions. I'm fully caught up. I don't want to get behind on chat. So I'm going to call it there. I appreciate everyone watching. I will see a bunch of people in Dallas. And for everyone else, I will catch you all later. Live on PokeFlips tomorrow. Don't forget that, 1 p.m.